welcome back to the channel. Today I'm happy to do another viewer requested video. There was a note in the comments of a recent video asking for a roster review, kind of how long have I played, what are my motivations, why do I do this? It's like, I can't really say. I've been a gamer for life, so that's answer number one. How long have I played? I believe, yes, I'm at 700 days now. I think I was joined pretty close to launch. It just kind of popped up in something that I was reading about early in the launch phase. I was getting over the previous game I played, which was Star Trek Timelines. Before that, I'd played MMOs for more than a decade. So I didn't have time for MMOs anymore with two small children under 5 at the time. They've gotten a bit older now. So I moved into mobile gaming to see what is this, and I was like, oh my god, it's loot boxes. So Star Trek and loot boxes just doesn't make any sense. I thought I would try this one out just to see what was going on. Interesting enough, and I've really come to enjoy it. It has its faults, and I guess I've learned more from playing more than one loot box game now. But I never played one that was this much visually engaging as it is here at Marvel Strike Force with all these great animations, that just kind of kicked it past where I was with Star Trek. So when I think about why I play, I kind of plan things out. I just enjoy it, figuring out how to tackle a challenge. Like my spending strategies, like I don't fit in most normal categories. There's usually like the whales, right? Or the Krakens, whales that are spending like massive amounts of money on the game. And if that's what someone chooses to do, I hope it's for good reason and has no issues, causes no issues in their life. That's not me. I'm also not free to play. I'm not going to pretend to be free to play. I've tried to find purchases that are values. I don't buy every character release. I'll just never do that. I don't see the value in it. There's so many characters. There's not that much value in buying shards to get part of a character. Like if I could get a whole character, maybe. And it specifically matters which character it is. Like someone like Beast who's coming, who can slot into an X-Men team that I've already built. Okay, maybe if somebody comes out that can fit in the Fantastic Four, who I just love from comics, or if they launch Spider-Ham or a Toon Force with like Mooster Fantastic or Moltron or all those, I'd probably buy into those two because I just think that'd be a blast. But so I don't really spend a lot. I look for value. That doesn't make me free to play. That definitely doesn't make a whale. Probably not even a dolphin by most people's standards. I just spend where I think that there's a value. Now, what am I focused on in this game? There's several different areas where I have goals, right? And they change. Like at the beginning of the game, I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea. But where I would recommend folks is like to step from the top to the bottom here. Just work your way through the campaign, enjoy it. There's diminishing returns and all these RNG orbs, from premium orbs to every other kind of orb in the game. But at the beginning, they're not diminishing yet. They're at their full value. No matter what you get out of that orb or those drops, you can use it. It's kind of nice. But yeah, you have to start by working through campaigns so that you can work on specific things that you need. That kind of gear. At the beginning, you can't even get to the kind of gear you may want. So it's there. You can't get to the characters you want. Now, I can get to everything. Just need a lot of the few things that I don't have to finish up. Past that, you need to move into arena. I'm not going to get into how to do that, but it's kind of what you need to do just to start accumulating power cores. That's if you're not spending a lot. I don't spend very much, so I need the daily power cores to keep the campaign energy flowing, to do the other things in the game that I like to do. It took me a while to understand Blitz, quite honestly, but once I could get to it, getting through the milestones was really important because there's a lot of gold involved. Gold is one of those pinch point resources of the game, so the more gold you have coming in, the better. And the next few categories all help in improving resources. The daily challenges, every time you step up there, you improve. You get more resources to apply to the advancement of collecting the characters and powering them up. And the Ultimus raids start getting blue gear as you get into 4 and 5, and then a lot more purple gear at 6, and now 7 is mostly purple gear. Get to the flash events, so then you can have a little bit of room to. You've got a pretty broad roster by this point. I probably wasn't doing this until a year and a half into the game, where I could really focus on my merch, really focus on my hand, build up my defenders to be block party, and even Wakandans now for the event that's supposed to come in April for the Red Star motion credits. Then I had fun getting my Alphabet Raids teams together. That's very recent where I really finished those off. And I've even got a couple more characters on my Kree team that I would like to get to Gear Tier 12. I think that Gear Tier 12, the purple tier, the top purple tier before you get to orange, which is super scarce. Like, I have run out of things there. They take 150 per piece now to collect, and they're very difficult to get to. But Gear Tier 12 of the purple tier, level 65 is the end point. Earlier in the game, you should stop at Gear Tier 8, the blue tier, and just broaden out, do your blitz. But at the point where I'm at now, it's about level 65 for most characters, and Gear Tier 12 plus 6664. After that, I'm not a huge fan of war. It's kind of a task, that it feels really forced, to do it 3 times a week. It's a lot of activity during those 3 periods of those 3 wars. But to be honest, it does have some pretty good rewards. I need those mini uniques there, collecting Graviton. Lord, please don't put Hela there. But if she goes there too, I'll have to collect her there too. And then finally, I think it's kind of important, but it's really a diminishing return just to focus on war defense teams, because you don't even get to play them. So I will work my Asgardians, because that'll help me work Black Bolt, which will help me get back higher in this hierarchy of needs and being able to deal with challenges I can't do right now. Having Hela and Black Bolt will help deal with challenges. Also the Ultimate 7 raids. So those are important. Now, specifically, as I work through those different goals, I keep up with what am I doing in each kind of category. I like to spread around my projects, have a few going simultaneously, because if you just focus all on mutant gear for months and months, you're just going to run straight into a wall and keep hitting your head against it. Now, if you could do a mutant and then flip over to a tech while you're getting those RNG purple ores from raids or the random stuff that shows up in all of the stores, you can collect that, and as you switch between them, I find as I change the station fairly frequently between types of characters that I'm focusing. I still do one character at a time, but between the types of characters that I'm focusing, I can get a lot more done, a lot more painlessly, and I don't know, I just enjoy it. So I just finished off Cyclops and Colossus to where I wanted them to be. I will be finishing off America Chavez to where I want her, so I can finally since I demoted Storm out of X-Men, I'm pulling Deadpool and Cable down to their own separate Blitz team, which Blitz isn't really very important to me anymore. Like, I don't need teams that can succeed and stay at 8-3 and win. I will just clear milestones most of the time. If we had like the mini uniques for the Cyclops, well, I'll run those over and over, but I don't have to run them over and over at 8-3. I'll just win every time. So I finished America to take Deadpool's spot off of my Brawler team. Those are done. Now I can get back to my current focus will be finishing off the Fantastic Four. They're at Gear Tier 11. I needed them to go to 12. And they'll be done, plus my last 2 Kree tech options, which are the last tech options I have. I'm not putting Hydra up there. Somebody's going to have to twist my arm to do it. I don't want to do all those Hydra tech. I'm not interested. And then you can see I shift into preparing for and hoping that the Asgardians are farmable so that I can use those Mystic goals. I can maybe get to Black Bolt in the Bio goals if I can unlock him. Okay, really walking through my roster now. My top 5 projects, which I will just hit buttons on tonight because I've already spent my $1.825 million for the Symbiote Spider-Man event today. I've got to wait till the reset to spend it again. I will have America Chavez at 60, Gear Tier 11. I'll have Colossus's I can finally do his last little purple gear item. I had diverted from that and focused on Cyclops for a while. Then I will work on Korath and Mr. Fantastic. So you can see, Mystic, Mutant, Tech, Bio. I don't have a lot of skill characters to work on. I am going to work on working Nick Fury to 75 to pull him into Dark Dimension 3. But past there, I just look at my major teams. So I have worked AIM already. You can see they're at my target, 65 and 12. I love this team, plus Ultron to deal with for war offense, and also will be helpful for the Villains campaign that's launching soon. The Asgardians are... I've got the Get Help brothers together. I powered up Loki a long time ago to get ready for Phoenix. Kind of overshot a little bit, but hey, now that T4 I put on his ultimate ability for 2 turns of stealth is even better. Thor's ready and good to go, but the other 3, since they're not farmable, I have not messed with. Heimdall will become farmable soon, so he'll get attention first. I have an idea where I might put these 3 guys together on a war defensive team until I can get to Hela and Sif, and I'll work Hela and Sif as soon as they become farmable too. They are really important, especially Hela, for all the challenges, the tier 12 challenges, so I've really got to get her up there. And I'd like to take 3 of these into Dark Dimension 3, but we'll see if I can get that much or not. Past the Asgardians, I mean, there's just a ton of different things that I've already done and intend to do. Eternals. This is coming later this year. And I don't mean Thanos as a deviant, and I don't mean Ultimus. So what I am certain, I am just 100% convinced that when the Eternal movie comes out later this year with Black Knight and the Eternals, they're going to be a new meta. So I'm going to back off for a while. I'm just going to work existing characters, and if I buy into something this year, it might be something like Eternals, so that I can just skip the current meta and go to the next one. Like, I can't keep up with all of them. I might jump into that. Really depends on what the movie does for me. I really like the characters and the way they're presented there. Fantastic Four has always been my favorite comic. I have an entire box of comics over there. The ones that are going right now are amazing. Even Mr. Fantastic showed up in the Spider-Ham issue 2 this month. He was like testing him. He's like, Mr. Fantastic was like, man, I don't want anything to do with this. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. And then the Maker, which is the Mr. Fantastic from the Ultimate Universe, showed up in Spider-Gwen, actually Ghost Spider this month, which is something I run for my girls. But I love working these guys. I put them off for a long time until they became farmable. Well, they're farmable now, so I just need to finish them. They're at 62. I need to get them to 65. Here, tier 12. Very excited about having that done soon. They're an excellent Asgardian counter in war. I did the Defenders long ago. I took them up to gear tier 11, and that was more than enough. Maybe taking 1 or 2 of these characters into Dark Dimension 3. I've got a while. I haven't entered yet, and I have to get all the way through the, use any type of characters, use the globals, and use the cosmics before I get to City. So I'm still not sure which team I'll need to get there, but they have served their purpose. I used them, getting them through Block Party, getting them through the gold challenges up to level 10 was super. I haven't been able to clear level 11 with this power team, and I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet, but those 2 answers will be the same. Those for Dark Dimension 3, the city nodes, and the gold challenges for tier 11 and tier 12. Let's see, Asgardians, AIM, Defenders, Fantastic Four. Did the Guardians long ago, and they were really critical. I'm not going to jump into too much of what they're available now. Hydra, I am not going to do. I refuse to do Nazis. Period. Absolutely. I don't care. I am not doing it. Kree I had fun with. They were a big challenge with collecting to be able to get to Nick Fury, OG. It took me a long time because I was really having to collect a lot of different characters at the same time. And once I got a certain number, I found at 7 stars, and the snowball really started happening, and was able to get to 7 stars for a lot of characters in my account because I could just focus. But yeah, I've got a couple more that I want to finish just for Gamma. I don't need it because I can clear all the Kree nodes now one shot anyway, but I just want to. So it's something I'm going to do. They're also a relatively useful counter to Asgardians in War 2. So I spent a lot of time in War dealing with Asgardians and Coulson teams, whilst others in my alliance kind of clean up a lot of the other things that pop up. Ravagers, not going to fool with. Shield, I did a long time ago, and I've been happy with that. I was very focused on Agent Coulson when he came out, and then I realized, great, he's kind of fun in Blitz once in a while, but I don't see him when he's on War Defense. So, and everyone has a counter now with X-Men, so from this point forward, I'm going to be suggesting most people work on the counters instead of the defensive teams. And when you have time to do all of it and resources to do all of it, and great. Obviously for Inhumans, I want Black Bolt, and I don't have him yet. I only have Crystal, Karnak, and Yo-Yo at level 1 because they're not farmable yet, and Black Bolt. I have 4 red stars, which isn't, amazing, but I really do want him. He seems to be very important to the Blaster challenges that launched a few weeks ago. We've got Mercs, which I cleared a long time ago to be able to get through Tier 7 of Payday. It's very important to maximize all those resource. Intensive power armors finished out, except for Ironheart. I use Vision. I use Vision for now. I will use Vision until I can farm her, and that's going to be a long time. Sinister 6 was great. I've largely left Sinister 6 alone after I got them to. I guess I was able to clear it with 60 and 65 Gear Tier 10s to get Invisible Woman fully unlocked. She is the strongest character in my account at 5 red stars and level 75 Gear 14. Wakandans I have where I want them to be ready for the Red Star promotion credit event that's coming. Hopefully we can do multiple rounds of that the first month that it becomes available, so we don't just have to wait to get to Tier 7. The event Tier 7. X-Force, X-Men I'm having a lot of fun with. I just finished Cyclops where I want. I don't know if he's really helping me hold in Arena yet. I put him in Arena. I kind of switch him and a couple other characters out just to keep people on their toes. Colossus I'm actually planning on taking into Dark Dimension 3. He'll be my 5th for Global. And I am excited to work Wolverine soon. So I've had him forever. I regretted working on him early in the game. Now I'm going to finish him to Gear Tier 12, level 65, and will finally not regret what I did early in the game. Because he and Cyclops have some great synergies. Wave 1 Adventures I would regret if I put any effort into at this point. X-Force is something I think that needs to come back, so Storm needs a place, at least just for a blitz. I think we just need Domino in here and Bishop. Let them have some fun with with Cable and Bishop. If anybody messes with your speed bar, since they're both time travelers, just punish them. So we'll see if that happens over the next year. The only thing I'm certain of is going to happen later this year, again, is Eternals and Black Knight, and I'm probably going to pay into it. Then again, the only other one that I really know about is the martial artist. Why am I forgetting who that is? The martial artist who will have his movie in the 10 Rings. Anywho, blanking who that is. I haven't worked my Supernatural team yet. I've worked Strange, Mortal, and Scarlet Witch just to deal with that Thor node a long time ago. Ghost Rider and Elsa are waiting to become farmable. Then I might work on them. The interesting thing about this team is I won't have enough team slots to be able to save them. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole roster. That's what I have going on. If you have any particular questions, ask me in comments. And again, I just highly recommend thinking through your goals and planning out kind of categories of how you approach and spread it around the leveling projects that you have going on. I know which ones I would focus on. I'll go for Beast. I might go for Eternals. I kind of like the Symbiotes team now, but I'm not sure that I can really wait for that many spores. That same problem with Thor and Loki maybe going into Dark Dimension 3. I don't know if I can wait for that much Uru, so the whole thing is interesting. But that's my full roster. Up here is what I'm working on right now and into the near future. And if you have questions or would like some advice or to discuss any of this, you can come to my Discord. If you ever want to check on the other news that's happening in Marvel Strike Force, I'm not going to read blogs here. I might find this particular topic and record something. But if you want an announce of what's happening in the blog and a short synopsis, I do that in Twitter every single time. Past that, I hope everyone has a great afternoon and a great rest of your weekend. Talk to you soon.